Welcome to the From the Backtees podcast. As you guys know, I'm Zach. We got Nolan here, and Nolan brought a special guest to the show this week.
Yeah, let's all welcome Julien Trudeau. Hopefully I didn't mess up that last name. I'm not French Canadian or anything like.
Special guest, huh? Dang, I got the red carpet rolled out. Love it, boys.
Of course, we're so happy that you joined us, man. It's finally, Zach and I have been off and on with the podcast for a little bit here, so it's good to kind of get back on it, have a guest on. So this will be really fun.
And then you got Reed starting next week.
Oh yeah,
another caddy joining the show. So you guys are ready to rock and roll now, huh? I feel like this quarantine's kind of dying down now a little bit, and
yeah, I don't want to knock on wood or something. Don't want to break our luck here, but it feels like things are slowly finally getting back to normal. I know I've returned back to work, so no longer at home. So yeah, hopefully a little normalcy comes back. Sports are putting plans in place to ramp back up. So what about you? What kind of sports do you like to follow besides golf?
Huge Montreal Canadiens fan, and we were not having the best of years, right, Zach? So
that's right. You guys could see the Montreal Canadiens Hawaiian shirt I brought out for the event.
Epic shirt. Is that silk, by the way?
I don't know what it is. It might be like a nice linen we got going.
100% Egyptian cotton.
Yeah, that's right.
Nolan, he's got the matching banana hammock down low, eh?
Yeah, 100%. He's ready to aloha all over the place.
But yeah, so huge Montreal Canadiens fan, and I went to Wichita State. Even though I'm wearing a UK shirt, I'm just drinking the Kool-Aid because I live in Kentucky now.
Okay.
So
is that a bit of a rivalry?
Well, we lost to them twice in the tournament. The year that we were undefeated, we were 32-0 or something, and we got UK in the second round, I think, and we got beat.
Back with Shaka Smart?
No, that's Virginia Commonwealth you're thinking of. Same.
Oh, I always confuse them too.
Mid majors, but
who is your coach then?
Greg Marshall.
Yeah, sorry.
But yeah, so it was going to be exciting to follow them because they were kind of grinding for a spot in the tournament. But I mean, now it's kind of, see you next year. So
yeah, Wichita's always been a fun team though, for sure. I love those mid majors that pop up and are really quality teams. So
Wichita, as the Canadian here who does not follow college sports at all, were they the one with Ron Baker and Van Vliet?
That's right.
Yeah.
Van Vliet. So I know you like Van Vliet for sure. Probably a Raptors fan.
I like Ron Baker more. That guy was incredible to watch.
Yeah, he was. And it's been cool for us that are Shocker alumni. It's just cool that we're on the map. Like you say, you went to Wichita State. People are like, oh, okay, yeah, you've been in the tournament. We've kind of been in the tournament for the last 10, 12 years almost straight, maybe a couple NITs, but I mean we're on the map, so it's been fun.
Yeah, I like to claim Zach. He's not a Toronto Raptors fan. From what we have talked about, I've converted him to a Portland Trailblazers fan. So yeah, shout out our sponsor FOCO for hooking us up with the little swag there, Damian Lillard bobblehead.
Nice.
But I have in turn adopted the Montreal Canadiens, so I don't know much about hockey, but you have a fan.
I love it. You're on board.
It's true. I get quizzed on why are they the Habs? All sorts of questions.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
Do you know the story behind why they're called the Habs, Julien?
Well, French Canadians are called habitants. It's just like, I don't know. I guess it would be like an American is a Yankee, kind of thing. And so I think they just cut it short, and then it turned into Habs.
Right.
So, I think. Am I right, Zach?
Yeah. No, you're right. But there was something else, Nolan. There was some something with the logo that wasn't actually. It wasn't what people thought it was.
Yeah, the CH was for like hockey, like Canadians hockey, and like some I don't know, politician like broadcasted out that the H standed for habitants or whatever, instead of hockey, and then it just stuck or something.
Yeah, well, I mean, you could just make up any word with an H. You could stand for Halifax for all we know. You know?
That's true. But before we get to the golf, how great is it that the Prime Minister has your last name, so now people know how to pronounce it?
Dude, everybody calls me Justin. It's a joke, man. Oh, sorry, Julien. Hey, Justin, you know, and it's like, you know, I wish I was in the trust fund, you know?
Well, you probably weren't a snowboard instructor, so.
No, and I don't get a Christmas card. Justin sends me nothing, man. So
Nothing.
You've been cut out of the family.
nothing. I mean, I got a letter from Donald Trump today. My wife and I got a letter from Donald Trump. He signed it. Said, "Here's your $2,400 stimulus paycheck." And Justin can't send me anything. Man, I mean, I'm disappointed in his effort.
Terrible family, terrible.
I mean, obviously you guys are. I see the resemblance. Like it's super obvious. So I don't know. We got a
Twins, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, let's go.
We got to figure that out a little. So yeah, Julien, big thing about you is you were on Big Break, which I love Big Break. I used to watch it all the time in high school, college. I always wanted to be on the Big Break. You were on, correct me if I'm wrong, it was like season 16,
16.
in Ireland.
Ireland.
Yeah, at the K Club.
Yeah, it was at the K Club. They have 2 courses there, so it was kind of this one, the Ryder Cup course, and then the other course was at the European Tour, European Open or whatever, the Smurfit course. And then we filmed one day at Portmarnock, which is in Dublin. That's a links course, and it was blowing like 50 that day. It was just a joke, but yeah, it was crazy, and it was fun rewatching it. You know, it just aired. I don't know when the pod's gonna air, but it just aired. You know, they did Golf Channel did a marathon all day on Monday, so it was cool to rewatch it with my wife, who I met on the show.
I was about to say we can get into that right now if we want to segue. I didn't know that until just recently that you and Mallory married. Did that relationship obviously started on the show, I'm guessing?
I mean, yes and no. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a little flirting going on. But didn't really flourish, I guess, until I actually caddied for her that whole summer. So we filmed actually in May, and then it didn't air until September. Obviously, it's a massive production. Yeah, about 2-3 weeks later, I flew to Cincinnati and I caddied for her on the Symetra Tour, which was the Futures Tour back then, I think, and then caddied for her another 7 or 8 tournaments later that summer. So that's kind of when we hooked up, I guess.
Did you do well in those tournaments?
She did pretty good, man. That's, you know, we kept it business-like out there. You know, there's no holding hands or no, you know, kissy, smoochy, nothing. You know, it was.
It obviously must have went well if she decided to get married to you after.
That's what I'm saying. Do you think if like you missed all 8 cuts that you would still be married?
Ouch. Yeah, you're fired, bud. Yeah. But no, I mean, we had a blast too. Just we were in her car. She had a Volkswagen Passat at the time. We just packed it up and just drove around the Northeast and Virginia, Pennsylvania, and Connecticut, all over the place. So it was a blast.
Right on. So did you grow up in Montreal then?
Only until 6th grade, and then my whole family, we moved to Arizona.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm half. So,
I was gonna say how I was gonna ask about kind of how you got recruited to Wichita State from Canada. That'd be kind of a interesting story there. But I guess out of Arizona, that's a golfing state for sure. So
yeah, if you're a Canadian golfer, you have to first go through Kent State, don't you? That's every Canadian has to try to get into Kent State And then if you don't get in there, then
It's the
go
end.
somewhere else. Yeah, I mean, Kent State's like the hotbed for Canadian golfers. But yeah, no, it was through like I got some help with a recruiter or whatever that knew Greer Jones was looking for some players at Wichita State, and so that's how I ended up at Wichita State.
Right on. Who were some notable players there while you were there that you remember, or maybe some guys who just maybe have good stories that didn't pan out or something?
The coach now, Jed Easterling, he was there for my last 2 years. He's probably one of the best players in the program's history. He's All-American, played real well. Tried to play pro for a little bit and then didn't, and then was an assistant, and then he got the head coaching job this year. So that's pretty cool. And then other guys that people would know. I mean, the best player in program history is Dustin Garza. I don't know if anybody knows that name. I don't know if there's some golfers watching this, they remember that name. But I never played with him, so I don't know.
Maybe Dustin Garza's watching. You never know.
Yeah, right. He might be. He might be down there. I think he lives down in I don't know, on the border, like Corpus Christi kind of area. But anyway.
Okay. Well, let's get back to Big Break a little, because I want a little more insight to what that was like. I mean, you've never been playing golf with a camera crew surrounded by you. First of all, that's got to be a little odd or nerve-wracking, or.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like, I played the year before. I played Nationwide Tour and Korn Ferry, and I might have got on TV 4 times or something. I didn't play that great, so. But when we showed up for the very first, obviously you go to the range and warm up, and there's like cameras at breakfast and stuff if you guys watch it, and then so you go to the first competition part, and we roll out driving in carts, and then we could see it far away. It's the glass break, and then dude, there's like 25 cameras. Like, it's just a joke. Like, they're everywhere, and we thought it was just going to be like one angle. I mean, there's all kinds of booms and all kinds of, I don't even know the names, man. Like,
looks like they're shooting a movie, probably.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable, like how much money goes into that thing, and like how well made it was. Like, I couldn't believe it. So that was, I don't know, like I was super nervous the first, maybe 1, 2. I was nervous the whole time, but like right off the bat, man, it was just insane. So that was cool, and then there's always a camera on you. There's always a microphone on you, and then you've got 2 or 3 people to a sound guy. And my sound guy, I still see him. He works for Golf Channel, so I see him at tournaments every now and then. Like, I saw him at Bay Hill a couple months ago. Dennis, he was there. And I remember I'd always mess with him, because he can hear me, but nobody else can hear me. I'd be like, I would just say something, maybe it's not suitable for the air here, but
our podcast is very R-rated. We don't get
all right. But yeah, so that was it was just cool, because it's just like, obviously that's my 15 minutes of fame, and you get treated so well, and dang, they put makeup on me and all that stuff. Just like,
How long
how do you how do you get on the show originally?
Well, honestly, I had basically already quit, and I was at a Gateway Tour like qualifier thing, and the Ryan Prey, the guy who ran the Gateway Tour, told me to go try out it was at a Gateway Tour event, so just a mini tour in Arizona. And I wasn't even playing in the Gateway Tour event that week, but I showed up. I was the last guy to interview, and I was hungover. And I just was like, I was desperate, I wanted to get on so bad. 50 G's in a couple tournaments, like, I had no idea there was going to be chicks there and all that. I just wanted a free crack at 50 G's or whatever. It's always a good prize, right? So Yeah, it was just at a mini tour event, and then Mallory's was at a Symmetra tour event. They had auditions, so that's where I think all 6 of the girls got picked from was Symmetra tour. I think. So
Gotcha.
yeah,
I didn't know if can't remember if the application process is really open at all. It sounds like you kind of already have to be a professional golfer to begin with, at least trying to make your way, and they pick from that group, which
sure.
makes sense.
Yeah, unless you've got a great story or something, or I don't know how they did it, but
How long of the filming process was it? Like, was that like a few weeks, couple months?
it was basically 2 weeks.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, so there was 10 episodes, so that was 10 days. And then we're up at 5 every morning and done by about 3. But then when you're done, you got to go back and they film a happy hour, and and then you just kind of get loosened up for the nightly interview, where you talk about the day. And you can tell, by the way, when you watch Big Break, you can tell which nights I was a little looser than the others. Just talking a little slower. I was watching, when I was watching on Monday, I'm like, dang, but slow down on the Jameson here, man. Like, so yeah, I mean, it's condensed a lot. We took 1 day off in the middle to go shoot like the opening thing, the intro kind of thing at this castle or whatever. You got to pretend like you're a model or whatever, and then so yeah, they just bang it out.
Yeah, that's crazy. I always was under the impression it was like a month-long ordeal, but they just fast track that thing.
Oh yeah, they just crush it. Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
So you mentioned the famous glass breaking challenge. I don't recall. Remind us all how you did in that challenge.
Um, I might have broke it the fastest in big break history.
Yeah.
Just hammered a 4-iron, like low punch draw, boom. It was just money. I mean, obviously a little bit of luck involved, but I mean, it was just like it happened really fast. Like, just pulled the ball out, boom, first shot, like quick. And I was doing it against Annie, this girl on the other team, and I don't even know if she had taken the club back.
She's just like, right, you have to like grab the ball out of the pyramid pile, and she was like probably getting set up, and already here's the glass crash, and she's like, didn't even get a shot.
Yeah, that was cool to start off the whole thing. That was the first challenge or whatever you call it of the whole thing. So that's pretty cool.
Did you have any qualms about how you'd be portrayed in the show? Like, they always like to favor some people kind of thing. Did you go into it like aware of that?
I mean, yeah, they'll take stuff and plug it somewhere else for sure for context, like, so. And I think I kind of knew that already. I had a couple buddies that had been on Big Break before, and so I kind of knew that already, and that was fine, and I think there's only one episode that I kind of went off, and that was on Andy, and it was probably a little aggressive, but I was just like that dude, like Andy Walker, like I saw him at the airport. He lived in Phoenix and I lived in Phoenix, and we were both on the same flight to go. So we knew we were both on it. And I was like, this is the guy I got to beat right here. Cause already I was like, this guy's good.
Yeah.
So when I beat him, like, I was like, holy cow, this is massive. Like, now, it was just a huge relief. And, so anyway, he's a great dude and a great dad, and he's the head coach at Lynn University now down in Orlando. But yeah, no, not really though. I mean, just kind of, I guess you just kind of do your thing and try not to say too many stupid things, and hope you did all right.
That would be my problem. I'd say way too many stupid things.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think after rewatching it, I think I did all right. Yeah.
I remember pulling for you, so you must have done something right to not make me mad or something.
Yeah, I mean, I had a couple good one-liners in there, sprinkled in there.
Yeah, you had I remember you had a very calm demeanor about you for the most part compared to some of the other contestants. So
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of drama, man. It was just crazy. Yeah, but that was awesome time. Great, like unbelievable experience. Yeah, and
yeah,
just meeting Mallory. I mean, it's just. I mean, like, it's like, are you kidding me? I mean,
the cherry on top.
yeah. I mean, and now looking back, that I still think about losing that final. Obviously, that's
I
50.
wasn't gonna bring it up. But you brought it up.
Yeah, and that was tough to watch, and I watched it. I just wanted to see how bad I was swinging, because that's probably how I'm swinging right now too. I mean, I just suck now, but never play golf anymore. But yeah, I mean, just we have a beautiful daughter. It's healthy. I mean, it's just like it's unbelievable. But I feel like I owe those people who cast us, 7 cases of the best champagne in the world. And
True. It's crazy how like the random little things come together and work out like that.
yeah, just unbelievable. So, yeah. I mean,
So after you took second place, what was your progression there? Were you still super hungry to get back out there and compete, or did you go straight to caddying right after that? Or
yeah, I was already caddying, honestly. So that was filmed in May, and I guess the October before, I'd lost my nationwide tour card, Corn Ferry, and I didn't even go to Q school. I just started caddying at Whisper Rock down in Scottsdale, and I was caddying just part time. But I mean, I had quite a few loops that winter, and so I was still caddying there. But then, come April, May in Arizona, I mean, there's just not much caddying going on at Whisper Rock, right? It's just so hot. So all the snowbirds head north. So, I had nothing going on. I mean, I was just going to try to caddy somewhere. And so when Mallory needed a caddy, I mean, I just took a chance. I mean, obviously it wasn't for the money. Symmetric Tour caddies aren't
right, you're not raking in the dough.
$100,000 purse. So yeah, I was done, man. I was done. In fact, I mean, I've only played like 2 tournaments since then, maybe 3. And then if you count the member guest, but I mean, so no, I was done, and so it was just perfect kind of segue into caddying.
Gotcha. Tell us a little about. I mean, you did play a couple PGA Tour stops, correct?
No PGA Tour events, no, just no, just I guess I probably got close to getting an exemption Canadian Open when I was on the Corn Ferry Tour. But they only gave it to X amount of Canadians on the nationwide tour. So no tour events, no U.S. Open, nothing. Just about 20 nationwide tour events under the belt.
Yeah. So how do you end up going though? Because you went from the Symetra tour with Mallory, you mentioned, then you ended up moving over to the PGA tour. Was it directly over, or you went to the Corn Ferry or Web.com or whatever it was called then?
Right. No, so I caddied for Mallory, until September, October, whatever, and then I caddied at Whisper Rock again that winter of 2011, and then in 2012 I started caddying for Chris Barilla on the Web.com tour on the nationwide, and only did maybe 2 or 3 events with him, and then he was good buddies with Graham Dillette, and Chris's old caddy Derek found out that Graham had fired his caddy. He was looking for somebody, and I knew Graham not very well, but good enough to be able to send him a message and be like, "Hey, man, if you need some help, love to help," and boom. I mean, he hired me for a 3-week trial starting. It was June 2012. Chris put in a good word for me, obviously, and that was really nice of him. And Graham and I had played against each other, Canadian Tour and like some Gateway Tour stuff. But yeah, and I mean, I showed up and I didn't know what I was doing really. Like compared to now, it's crazy how much you learn and keep learning about just little intricacies or just little things. But yeah, so that was 3-week trial, Hartford, Congressional, and then Greenbrier, and then boom, I've been caddying on tour for 8 years now.
Yeah, you got like thrown into the fire with Graham. He was playing some big tournaments and even qualified for the President's Cup that year, right?
That was the next year, yeah. So when I started with him, he was still on his medical. He was trying to get enough money to get his card back through the medical. And I think we did that at the third tournament, Greenbrier. We finished like 11th or something like that. And like when I started caddying for him, like I knew Chris Barillo, I'm talking about. He was unbelievable, like so much talent. He just was never healthy. And I had played a lot of golf with him. We were good buddies. But Graham, like when I started caddying for Graham, I mean, I'm just like, dude, I'm so glad I'm not playing against this guy. Like I mean, he's just so good, just a joke, And so just a matter of just being healthy, and his back held up nicely through, because that's what the medical was for, is back surgery in 11. So yeah, it just kind of started just pumping out top tens just about every other week. He was just a machine there for while he was healthy until kind of maybe end of 2014. So yeah, I mean, got on the President's Cup team. I mean, got to like 25th in the world, I think, without ever winning. We just had so many good finishes, just playing so solid. So
a lot of consistent golf right there.
Yeah.
Where was the President's Cup at that year?
It was at Muirfield Village in Columbus. Yeah, so that was incredible, because we played every match. Like in President's Cup back then, everybody played every match. So, Nick Price just paired us with Jason Day, and we played every match with Jason Day, who lives in Columbus.
Yeah.
So we had, even though it was an American crowd, like we had a pretty good following, and just to play with Jason was just amazing for Graham, just pumping him up with confidence, and obviously playing with an incredible player, Jason, great dude, and his caddy Colin at the time too. Like, I mean, it was really cool. It was awesome.
That was the year also. I think he made that chip in, to beat Spieth. Was it on 18 or was it 17?
Yeah, that was on 18. Well, so in singles, yeah, he holed out from the bunker against Spieth on 18.
Yeah.
To win maybe 1 up or 2 up, I forget. But the day before, or maybe it was like the morning, he chipped in on 18 against Phil and Keegan. He chips in, and then Keegan makes like a 10-footer to tie the match. And that was like the most incredible scene I've probably ever been a part of. Like when Graham made that chip, it was just insane, dude. He like high-fived Jason and like almost took his arm off. I mean, just like the fire was, it was unbelievable. And then Keegan makes the putt on top of him. It was just like, I'm sure Keegan will never forget that putt in his life. Like it was just a massive putt, just like ice cold. Like it was just unbelievable golf.
Is it weird, because I know, well, especially as a Canadian, like the Americans, they have so much pride in the event because they're like one half of it, obviously, and Canada isn't just represented as a country, we're represented as a group. Is it any different when it's like that?
I don't know. I kind of, for me, like I grew up, I guess I rooted for the Americans in the Ryder Cup, I mean. But, part of me kind of like the Euros too, and never really was on a side. And then, as far as like President's Cup, I don't know, just like at the beginning, it was like I love Fred Couples so much growing up that it was just like, oh, I'll root for them. And then it's like Mike Weir comes on the scene, and then they had President's Cup at Royal Montreal and all that. Like, So that's probably like kind of when I was, and then obviously Graham. So now I'm probably more international fan, so to speak, but yeah, I think being, being there in Columbus, I think the fans were pretty good. And then they had like the Aussie fanatics or whatever, those dudes that wear green and yellow.
Yeah.
Those dudes were amazing, and they came and partied with us the last night. Like there's like the last night little shindig or whatever, and they were there partying with us, and so it was unbelievable experience.
So after, let's see, when did you stop caddying for Graham then?
So in 2017, we were in South Korea, and he had to withdraw. His back was just jacked, just really bad. And that was the second time that we had gone over there, and he wasn't feeling great. 2014, we had gone over there, and we had to pull out of Malaysia and China. And then he didn't play for 2 years. So starting in October 17, he took it late October. Obviously he took an extended break just to try to get healthy. And so I bounced around in 2018 and bounced around and caddied for a bunch of different guys. And then at the end of the year, I caddied for Monto Griffin for 6 tournaments, caddied for Colt, Nost, probably like 8 to 10 events in there in those, ever since I started working for Adam Long a year ago.
Hmm.
And a bunch of other guys that I caddied, one event for, kind of like a fill-in type of a deal, like caddy was having a kid, then, he'd go home and be with his wife and kid, and I would fill in, which, is not ideal because it's great to be able to work, obviously, but, you can't help anybody, in 1 week. It's just hard to, it's hard to pick a club. It's like, I don't know your game, 5 or 6 iron. I don't know, dude. Like, just flip a coin, So that's been great to be able to be with Adam for, over a year now. So now I'm, definitely comfortable helping him out.
How'd that relationship start with you and Adam?
He was gonna fire his caddy, and then his coach Josh Gregory reached out to me because he knew I had worked some for Grayson Murray at the start of 2019. I worked 6 or 7 events for him, and then his back was all jacked up, so he had to take a medical. So Josh knew that I was kind of looking for someone. He reached out to me, said, any interest in working for Adam? And I said, hell yeah. I mean, just one, Bob Hope, and awesome dude, great player, and a bunch of my friends on tour knew him. So, I mean, it was real great timing, honestly, that worked out like that, and that Josh kind of put us together, and Adam kind of asked his buddies too, who he should hire, and my name came up a couple different times. So I guess that's how it goes.
Yeah. What type of relationship do you guys have? Because we see with a lot of different guys, like we know Reed and Hubbard, they're incredibly close on the course, but off it, they don't talk too much. And we see some caddies who are living with the players on the road.
Yeah, it just depends, huh? Like there's just a variety of stuff. I mean, we don't stay together very often. Trying to think. I mean, like I stayed at his house during Honda because he lives close to Honda, but it's kind of rare that we've stayed together. But like our wives are great buddies. They're great friends, and they just had a kid like a month and a half ago. So I know Emily, she likes to, she'll text Mallory,
Some motherly tips.
Yeah, just like little things, right? Like so that's cool that they're good friends.
And now you're really locked in if the wives are friends.
Yeah, right. That's right. If you want like job security, just be in with the player's wife. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
he knows.
But yeah, so yeah, so I guess yeah. I mean, we'll hang out. We don't stay together that often, but I think we're pretty good buds. We've become pretty good friends, and so that's a really cool dynamic. Like when I was with Graham, I mean, I had the ultimate job security there because my wife was their twins' nanny on the road. When she quit playing, she was looking for something to do, and then Graham's wife Ruby was like, "Well, do you want to just travel and just come help out with the kids?" And Mallory was like, "Heck yes!" So she would come, and so we stayed together a lot. And Mal would help Graham and Ruby with the twins, Roscoe and Lila, and so I babysat them a bunch, changed a few diapers, learned a few tricks there too, and so we were super tight, and so and we still are. So it's yeah. So but it just depends. They like yeah. Some guys just kind of just strictly business, and then off the course, just whatever. Just see you tomorrow, boom. And other guys are real good buds.
Yeah. And what do you think, like for you, what's your best attribute as a caddy? Like is it that you know the game so well? Like some of our guys are just like very casual guys to be around. They're not great golfers. They just like make relax their player kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't really know. I mean, I don't know. You'd have to ask other caddies. I've always thought like, who would I want to caddy for me if I was on tour now? And I've got like a few names of guys that I would like. I guess you know not being annoying to your player is huge because if you're annoying, I mean, you're just getting fired fast.
Yeah, that's a quick way to yeah, to burn that bridge is to rub them the wrong way,
Yeah.
obviously.
So I mean, I guess, and I think a lot of tour caddies, I guess they know that, or maybe they don't know that, but it's just like in the back of your mind. It's like they make two bogeys in a row. Well, I mean, they might not. You might need to give them some space, or maybe they like a joke, or whatever. So I don't know. My best attribute, man.
You're really good at pulling the right club.
Oh yeah, so good. I just
Yes.
pick one and then I cross,
I,
and then I pray.
I guess there's a question. Have you ever given your player the wrong club and he's hit it, or like noticed and been like, dude, you gave me the wrong club?
No, well, there was one this is my first British Open, Graham's first British Open at Muirfield on number 9. It's 300 yards to this bunker, and it's like barely helping. Like it's off the left and barely helping, and he just grabs 2-iron, and he's like, "This is fine, right?" And I go, "Yeah, absolutely, dude. Just send it." And he hit this thing under the lip of this pot bunker, 300 off the tee, and he was fuming.
Oh,
Because then the next shot, I mean, the stacked bunker in Scotland or whatever, chip out sideways, and we make bogey on this easy par 5, and then it was not good. But so yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of bad clubs, not too many bad yardages, I guess. I've caught a couple of them, luckily, because I mean the next shot was going OB like 40 over the green. But I caught them. Nothing too flagrant yet, as far as I'll knock on that.
was that the worst? Was that like the angriest you've ever had a player at you? Was that instance, or has there been worse?
Oh no, Graham's lit me up before. Oh yeah,
On like a read or something, or
no, I mean he lit me up at Riviera. This was incredible. How's we're on number 5, and I mean it's probably never 3-wood, and I just didn't know. It was my first time there, and he just smashes this 3-wood, bounce, bounce, bounce down on this downslope. There's like this love grass that's probably like a foot high on this nasty downslope. If you hit it through the fairway, long and left. I mean, we get up there and I thought this ball's perfect and it's just buried and we make just a terrible bogey. And then we go to 6, par 3, it pins back left. It's the green with the bunker in the middle of the hole.
Yeah.
The green, you know? And so he hits the 6 iron. It's going right at the flag. And it hits like this far above the ground on the flag stick. Boom, dead center, and kicks back all the way off the front of the green. And I mean, he is just livid. And I'm like, I think I tried to say, like, all right, bud, let's go get it up and down. And he goes, don't talk to me, go. Oh my God, it was hilarious. I don't know who was in that group, but I'm sure they remember that because he was just red like a strawberry. Like, it was hilarious. I mean, not at the time, but looking back.
Some good stuff. I think, yeah, that's a cruel. I always hate, when I hit the flag all the time. But it's so weird how it, creates so much spin and just zips it back like a mile.
You hit the flag all the time, bud, like Mo Norman, or what?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying.
I hit the flag one time in my life. What a moment that was.
Did you keep the ball?
I do have the ball. It's my one and only eagle.
Is Damon Lillard holding it up there?
No, you should, though. That's actually a good place to put it.
You have a hole-in-one, Julien?
Yeah, I got 3.
Oh, I hate people who have multiple hole-in-ones. It sickens me.
How many you guys got?
0.
Goose egg.
Goose egg?
Where was your first one at?
It was in Arizona.
Or how old were you?
I was like 25.
All right.
Yeah, something like that. 25. It was a 4-iron from like 220. Just like, really? 4-iron?
If I ever get one, it's going to be from like 120 out on like some easy par 3.
A little pitch and putt or whatever.
That's right.
Hey, doesn't matter, bud. You're going to celebrate hard.
Yeah. I always said I'm going to quit golf if I ever get one. But now it might be tough with a golf podcast.
Yeah, that's fake news. That's fake.
No, it wasn't fake news back then. I'm a man of my word.
Now it is. Yeah.
Zach's on the quest for the mini tour, actually.
That's true.
Yeah.
You seem very confused. Well, it's also true that I'm very bad at golf, but I want to enter a mini tour event because I think it would make great content to have like Reed Martin on my bag, like scaring everyone away.
What do you think you're going to shoot, bud, if you just played like...
So that's the over-under. I think it was set for now at over-under 100 over par for 3 rounds.
Dang, so like 33 over every round?
Yeah, I think I'll beat it. Reed's like, no, you got to go higher than that. I'm like a 25 handicap, but I feel like the pressure will cost me a little.
Okay.
Playing with someone who actually is very good at golf probably won't help. Being like, I probably get my ball out.
Maybe it'll inspire you, man.
That's true. What if I just dominate just out of nowhere? Like,
yeah, dude, what if you shoot 3 rounds in the 80s? And don't forget to post those.
That's right. And I'll be the quickest to post my score. Like, I'll live tweet it for all the degenerate gamblers who are betting on it. They'll be like, this guy's my favorite. He actually updates his score. I got it all figured out.
Yeah.
So I'm our big Tiger guy, Julien. You by chance have any opportunities to play near or caddy around the famous Tiger Woods?
We played with him one time.
Yeah, with Graham?
Yeah, with Graham. 2015 at Sawgrass, 3rd round. And we both made the cut on the number. So we were off early on Saturday morning and like 8:45 or something. But I mean, it's just like 6 to 8 people deep, like 100 yards down the fairway. Like, it was incredible.
Yeah.
So just that one time. Yeah. So that was pretty cool. And he wasn't playing great at that time. Like, he was banged up, just body hurting. It was kind of that period where he was struggling with his health. So
yeah,
it didn't matter. Like, it was unbelievable. Like, it was, I think we all kind of grew up idolizing him and kind of wanted to be like him as far as, golfers. So yeah, that was pretty cool.
What was it like for Graham? Did he enjoy the extra eyes or the extra backboards, I should say, of people lining the
Exactly right.
door?
Yeah, I think he did, man. I mean, it was really cool. I mean, it wasn't like playing with Tiger in, let's say, 2002 when he was just a machine,
Yeah.
But because he talked to us and he was fairly laid back ish, right? I mean, obviously he's trying to shoot 63, but so it was cool in that sense that it was, he talked to Graham, and Graham knew him obviously, just from being around. It wasn't the first time he had met him, obviously. So, but yeah, it was just cool just seeing just all the people there, and Tiger was awesome, just talking and just watching him hit the ball too. He's still just flushing it. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, is it like a different sound hearing him hit the ball?
I mean, yeah.
Is there some mythical lore like out there? I mean, what were you just like awestruck when you like first saw him? You're like, I can't believe this is like Tiger Woods right in front of me.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, the sound, yeah, it might sound a little bit different, but I mean, it's not completely different sound. Well, I mean, is he hitting a different golf ball? Does he have like is he hitting it with like a sword named Excalibur, or like what's going on here?
Yeah.
But no, I mean I mean, when Tiger's on the range, it's pretty easy to just kind of your eyes float over there, watch him hit balls,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you watch the match 2.0 this past week?
Watched a little bit. Yeah, not the whole thing. Just had a lot going on. It's just hard to watch a 5-hour event when you have a 16-month-old kid, So, but yeah, I watched a few. I thought it was awesome, man. You guys, I mean, I'm sure you guys watched it.
Yeah, I wasn't able to watch the whole thing either. Like you said, it's pretty long to watch, especially you could watch Tiger all day. The rest of them, I don't know. A couple shots were enough.
But yeah, I mean, it was just cool. Like compared to the first one, it was awesome. It was just kind of, there's a lot more trash talking and just talking in general, right? Like it was cool having Brady and Peyton Manning there too.
Dude, I can't believe Brady was like playing terribly through 6 holes, and then all of a sudden he holes out.
Out of nowhere, dude. The microphones, everything just going everywhere, and he's just like, boom, no big deal. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That was crazy. I was like, this almost feels scripted, but I was like, you can't script a shot like that,
Right.
Do you think they could ever do it without Tiger at the same level? Like if they'll try to replace him, because I feel like the numbers are going to be drastically lower.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Tiger moves the needle more than anybody, but I mean, I feel like you could do it with. I mean, like, would you guys watch, like, let's just say, okay, Phil and Justin Thomas against, pick a couple good, like, or not them against, but, pick like a couple good amateur players, like, just say Kelly Slater, and pick another good amateur kind of celebrity.
They need Michael Jordan. That'll do it.
Michael Jordan, dude, boom, like 100%. I would watch that.
Yeah, but Michael Jordan's gonna be like, wait, we're giving $20 million to charity? I thought this was a bet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'd like to know what the side action is.
Yeah, MJ would put up some serious side action if we learned anything from those Last Dance documentaries.
Yeah, I still haven't watched that, man. I need to watch. I mean, so like the whole Twitter timeline is just like, oh my God, this is amazing, amazing, amazing. And I guess when I hit the road here to go to Colonial, I'll probably try to queue it up and watch that.
That's awesome. So yeah, you guys are playing in the first. It's like the season's restarting.
It's crazy, man. I mean, I've never been home in the spring, like ever. Not like no golfer, or if you've caddied for a while, nobody's been home ever.
Be your busiest time of the year right now.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, it's just been crazy. It's gonna be hard leaving. It's gonna be really hard leaving. Just been spending so much time with the family at home. You know, it's just gonna be hard for every caddy and player to leave. So yeah, it's but just got to go back to the this isn't real life here. Just sitting at home, taking care of the household. Just got to get back to work. So I'm pretty pumped to go to Colonial, man. It's a great track, and it's going to be hot as fire there. Dallas, Fort Worth in June. Woo!
Yeah. Bring a couple changes of shorts and socks so you can do a little swap at the turn or something.
Couple extra banana hammocks, Zach. You got an
That's
extra.
right. At least you get to wear shorts. Yeah, the poor players are going to be suffering.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be brutal. But I don't know. I think everybody's just chopping at the bit to get back out there. Obviously, and the tour's done such a good job of kind of guiding and just trying to be prudent and do the right thing. I mean, they're just being cautious,
Yeah.
and that's fine. Let's just get back to it, and let's just get the ball in the air. Like it's gonna be fun.
Yeah. I don't know, Nolan, if you had any more questions, but we got one last topic to discuss. The Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah.
What's going on? We got a playoff spot. We could win the first overall pick. Things are looking up.
Dude, I don't even remember where it's been so long, man. I haven't even I don't know are they gonna finish the season? Have they scratched it? I don't know. I got a kid,
No,
man.
They
Hard.
scratched. So I'm going to give you the summary. They scratched the season.
Okay.
The Habs, who had the 25th best win percentage in the league, are somehow the 24th and final team put in the playoffs because they went by total points, not win percentage.
Come
And
on.
we're playing Pittsburgh in a best 3 to 5 series to play either Washington, Tampa, Boston, or Philly in the quarterfinals, and then it's normal playoffs. So the Montreal Canadiens have somehow made the playoffs, even though we had 0% chance when the season ended.
I mean, I got to get back to, I used to click on that Score mobile app all the time, but now, I mean, it's just been on shutdown the last two,
I know. I used to be like, the first week while it ended, I'd go there by nature, just used to pushing my thumb there. And now I think I've just gotten so used to no sports. It's sort of sad that I've just gotten used to there being no sports.
Yeah, I mean, I got to get back into it. So that's going on in June or July or whatever.
Yeah.
Start date, I don't even know.
We will win the cup, though.
We'll win the cup. I mean, Penguins.
Yeah, Washington, Boston. Come on,
those guys. They haven't been working out.
They've got nothing on us. We have Joel Armia. What are they gonna do?
Yeah, exactly. We're ready to go. Oh well, that'll be fun to watch. I mean, obviously, I'm like a fake fan. I don't even know what's going on.
No, it's good. You're born there, so you have rights for life.
Yeah, right.
You got an excuse if you're a father of a young one too.
Well, now you're a fan too, Nolan. So I mean, you're on board now. You're on the Habs train. So
Heck, go Habs.
That's right. Well, finally, if I'm ever able to cross the border and get back to my attending of PGA Tour events, we'll for sure have to catch up and
sounds good.
Root on our teams. But until then, thanks so much for making the time, Julien. I know you've got a kid, you got a family going on, so we really appreciate that.
Yeah, you got it. Now baby's sleeping. We're good. We're home free, boys, till the morning, hopefully.
We're living the best life. Well, thanks, you guys, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thanks, Julien.
Boys, stay safe.